One of the most entertaining episodes in all of television might be The Trouble with Tribbles. Entrancingly colourful, actively scripted, outstandingly performed, and utterly watchable, I'm in the camp that consider it one of the best Star Trek episodes, but I know a lot of fans are not overly keen on this. I also really love the Deep Space Nine episode, Trials and Tribulations, one of my favourite episodes of that show, although that one had many brilliant entries. I think my favourite thing about both episodes is the sheer enjoyment factor, composing a light-hearted comedy that doesn't betray the tone of the program, displays genuine tension and stakes. None of the players feel as though they are acting unlike themselves. The fact that both of these episodes worked at all is absurdly impressive in my view, let alone one of the best episodes of their respective series. Some info regarding the writing of this episode. The episode was the first professional work of writer David Gerrold, who went through a variety of drafts before it reached the screen. Because his typewriter used a less common, smaller size font, an approved screenplay version needed to be reduced by 20 pages before filming. Gerrold had been a fan of science fiction since he was a child. When Star Trek was first broadcast, he was concerned that it might turn into something similar to Lost in Space, which he has described as one full-colour hour of trash reaching into millions of homes. I don't think that was in colour till later on. First season's in black and white, I remember that. His first story outline was sent in to Star Trek after his agent suggested that he wait until the show started to air under the theory that the show might drop an existing episode in favour of a better script. The story was entitled Tomorrow is Yesterday, not to be confused with the Star Trek episode Tomorrow is Yesterday, and concerned the Enterprise coming across a generation ship which had degenerated into a two-tier class system. His agent received a rejection letter from producer Gene L. Kuhn, dated October 3rd, 1966. The letter stated the outline was by no means inadequate. It is, as a matter of fact, very adequate. It went on to say that it would require a budget larger than that available to television, but would have made a good film treatment. Kuhn offered to meet with Gerrold and explain what they were looking for, because they were not purchasing scripts at that time. Kuhn suggested that Gerrold should wait until the following February to see if the show was renewed for a second season. They also discussed several story ideas, including some small furry creatures that bred too quickly. Kuhn thought it was a cute idea, but would be too expensive as they'd have to build each creature. In preparation for the second series submission, by January, Gerrold had put together 5 premises to pitch. He had his best hopes on 2 treatments called Bandy and the Protracted Man, but decided to submit his 5th story despite Kuhn's earlier dismissal of the idea. It was called The Fuzzies. The idea was based on the introduction of rabbits in Australia in 1859, whose population grew extraordinarily fast owing to a lack of predators. Michelle Nichols said that she had never seen a script change so much but stay the same. On a further visit to the set, Gerrold was called into Kuhn's office. He was informed that he needed to change the name of the Fuzzies, as the legal department was concerned about similarities in the name with H. Beam Piper's 1962 novel Little Fuzzy. He subsequently came up with a variety of alternative names. For a process of elimination, he ended up with the name Tribble. Gerrold's submitted script was within the standard page count for an episode, but when it was retyped for distribution by the production's Mimeo department, it ballooned from 60 to 80 pages due to Gerrold's having used a typewriter with 12 pitch rather than the 10 characters per inch Pica standard of the TV and film industry. This meant that some 20 pages needed to be cut from the script.